On the left, the agent chooses among available affordances autonomously. By affordances, we mean multiple action options, evaluated simultaneously, among which the self-driving agent chooses in real time. On the right, the agent chooses among affordances biased by a human driver. Note also the box top left on each screen. This is the agent's motor space, i.e. a heat map encoding of the value of choosing hypothetical different combinations of lateral and longitudinal control on the X and Y axes. The agent's real-time choice is represented by a small black dot in the middle. Red indicates a current prohibition due to an obstacle or speed limit, for example, while green indicates a high rewarding course of action, and yellow, less likely but still possible. On the right, the human operator has told the agent or biased it to go faster, in human terms, by pressing down on the gas pedal. This is indicated by the bias long 0.205 figure here. So in this case, the agent limits its deceleration options, as indicated by less affordances in the motor space map. In other words, where the left box leaves room for significant deceleration and stop, the right one doesn't. It is important to note that this does not substantially increase the risk to the vehicle or passengers, but that where safely possible, the vehicle will go faster than it would normally go, but still within the speed and collision-free limit. On the unbiased agent, pass affordance is partially inhibited here because of two crossing oncoming vehicles, so the agent chooses to stop at the crossing, because stopping has a higher value, indicated by the green area on the motor space map. The biased agent chooses to pass, however, because it has detected that crossing obstacles leave sufficient room for passing. The unbiased self-driving agent opted for the more cautious and comfortable maneuver by stopping at the intersection. The forward-biased agent was forced to cross with tight margins by using partially inhibited affordances. In other words, it was collision-free but more difficult. In this video, the human driver increases the forward bias, which is once again equivalent to pressing down on the gas pedal, and therefore the agent chooses to move forward until it recognizes the obstacle some way off in front. The agent may choose between stopping in lane or overtaking. Since forward bias has been selected by the human driver, the agent chooses to overtake. It would do so anyway later, but here it is urged to do so. Now the human driver has reduced longitudinal bias so that it moves from positive to negative at the moment that the car approaches a parking space. Note that the agent chooses to slow the car down and the parking affordance emerges. A right bias is input into the car by the human driver, and the agent chooses the right turn affordance into the available space. The human driver sets maximum forward and leftward biases so as to travel as fast as possible and be on the left lane where possible. Sensory motor noise from various sources is occasionally visible. Note that the shown paths represent future car positions. They will not collide with apparently overlapping objects because they are also moving. As the car travels at maximum allowable speed on the oncoming side of the road, the agent detects an incoming obstacle and is aware of an obstacle on the right, which it knows it must navigate around. It decelerates and the right lane affordance becomes more salient. The agent knows that its only available option is to move right, despite its maximum forward and left biases set by the human request. Once it has moved right, it becomes aware of a gap in the traffic on the left oncoming lane. It decides to perform the overtake maneuver before passing the oncoming vehicle, and it begins it as soon as the oncoming car has passed. But on the detection of another obstacle in front, it aborts the maneuver and returns to follow the car it had attempted to overtake. The aborted overtake is the consequence of a short detection range. It knows that the road is clear ahead and immediately begins the overtake procedure again once the car in the oncoming lane has passed. These three cases have established how the biasing of action selection produces emergent human-robot interaction in autonomous driving.